This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hope everyone's doing well today. Okay, we're talking about, this is very interesting to me. So, is this just a coincidence, or did Meek Mill do a full interview with Charlemagne in, I don't know where they were, the Bahamas or something? That happened around December 12th, if I'm correct. Somewhere around that. Yeah, it was released on December 13th. So it happened within a few days of that. Then Drake drops the Rap Radar interview yesterday, okay? Is this a coincidence? Now, in the first one with Meek Mill, he talked about that he was a junkie doing perks out of his mind, and he doesn't know why he had the problem with Drake. He doesn't know what made him do that with Drake. When clearly, we're in 2019, clearly 3 years ago in 2016, around the same time, okay? He did an interview with Taxstone a year after Back to Back dropped, specifically telling you why he did that, okay? And then, so now fast forward, okay? December 25th, Christmas Day, yesterday, Drake drops a full interview with Rap Radar and reiterates the real problem that Meek, now first of all, he saluted Meek. These guys are friends, okay? And I'll break that down. And let me make it very clear. I'm a fan of Meek Mill and I'm a fan of Drake. I'm just noticing little inconsistencies here that is like little chess moves going on here amongst friends being competitive, okay? And I'm surprised Meek Mill didn't just admit where he was wrong in a way on that Charlemagne interview, because Drake retells the same story of the problems that Meek Mill told Taxstone back in 2016. He says, I think the end of the real breaking point was when I didn't show up to a show that Meek Mill thought I was showing up to. I guess we were supposed to pull up. Someone had said I was going to pull up in my team. We couldn't. We had to pull back on the engagement because we had a prior engagement. And Meek Mill took it as I wasn't messing with him anymore. And he decided to go all the way with it. Plus, Drake says this, conversations he was having with his lady at the time, Nicki Minaj, okay? He decided to go all the way with it. So Drake still, it's just, you got to just read between the lines. I don't care what Drake says afterwards to clear this up. You got to go for what he said in the interview, and maybe he should have chose his words differently. The way I take that is that Nicki had a little bit of a part to it. She didn't stop him, right? She could have. She could have said, you're tripping. She didn't stop him. She, go at him. And it was over the show, and it was over that, Meek Mill just didn't feel like Drake had the same love for him. Meek Mill felt comfortable discrediting Drake and saying that he has a ghostwriter and that calling out that he doesn't write anymore. And there's another thing that Drake says, and I'll link all this below at the special marks. You watch it for yourself. Sometimes you got to do a refresher. I don't forget these things, so I'm like, that sounds off. Drake did a chess move by redoing this, and then he also said, okay, so the way they led into this in the Drake interview, I know I'm all over the place, but I'm just trying to break this down. So the way they led into the Meek Mill thing in the Drake interview, right, is they said, people talk about the ghostwriting thing. That's still like a chink in your armor type of deal. He said, well, that's, again, curated by the same people that want my downfall. That was curated by DJ Drama and Meek Mill, okay? And that's how Quentin Miller got revealed as collaborating with Drake on a song, but they decided to shift the narrative that, Quentin Miller wrote the whole song, right? There's no way Drake has been this consistent for 10 years and doesn't know how to write, okay? So let's be honest, okay? There's no way that's been hidden for so long. Meek Mill and Drake are both great writers. They're both great lyricists, okay? Meek Mill had a Drake verse on his album. I don't understand why he felt like to go at Drake. Maybe he was feeling like on top of Nicki Minaj, however you want to cut it. Meek Mill was a superstar, Nicki added superstar to him. Okay, she took him to another level because she was at another level. You know, that's it's called leveling up. That's life. You get around other people. You know, you guys collaborate. It goes crazy, right? It's natural. Okay, but I think Drake did this recent interview because he saw how that interview was with Meek, and he said, I gotta keep the narrative the same, you know? It can't just be like, oh, Meek Mill, you know. And Drake says, you know, I have respect for Meek. Meek's really about that life. And Meek is from Philly, and he's not soft, okay? You can't be soft and be from Philly and survive all this rap stuff and everything. Like, and Meek Mill got his team, Drake got his team. When you're rich in this thing, as we saw with Tekashi, when you got the power, or like a Tekashi or somebody, you're going to get them guys around you that are willing to do things for you. It just happened. You could be the softest person in the world, but it attracts a certain, I don't know, it just happens. People form like Voltron, but now you got a lot of responsibility. So Meek Mill, most of the people around him, he grew up with Drake. He didn't grow up with those guys, but they were around. You know, they kind of formed. So he has to, more than anybody, Drake has to really take care of the wolves, okay? Friends/wolves. So, like, here's my thing. Looking at everything, you know, look at what Meek Mill was tweeting. You know, he was talking about, you know, he doesn't write and everything. He totally put a stain on Drake's career that'll never go away. And that's not a friend. A friend wouldn't do that, you know? So these guys are frenemies to me. Like, they're friends. They have an admiration for each other's skills, right? And they work very well together. I like their songs together. All their songs together are great, okay? Really great. But they're also enemies at the same time because they're competing. And that's how I look at it. And I think that Drake was always going to forgive him because he always had a certain admiration for Meek Mill's skill, just his brand, okay? He really likes the brand of Meek Mill and was always going to forgive him to a point. And it was beneficial for Drake to forgive Meek Mill when he did because Meek Mill was just at it. Think about it. Meek Mill had L's all over his career in 2016, 1 year after back-to-back. Nobody wanted to mess with Meek Mill anymore. DJ Khaled turned his back. French Montana turned his back. Everybody turned their back on Meek Mill. The Game, everybody. Everybody was siding with Drake because Drake had the power and they needed verses from Drake. Drake gives you selling power on your album. That's what Meek had for free for years, okay? He always had the support of Drake, and he lost that getting in his feelings that Drake didn't show up at a show. Drake had a past with Nicki that was his current girl. You know, it was a lot. You know, Drake blames, you could tell by that interview, his relationship with his girl, him being on perks, and just him feeling away, you know, and he took a shot, you know, that was it. But these guys are frenemies, man. These guys are frenemies, and Meek Mill's always going to have a certain feeling about Drake. He still won in a way because he started a conversation that will never go away with Drake, ghostwriting. And I think Drake will always resent the fact that happens. But I think they will remain friends because they do have a mutual respect for each other's craft, for each other's brands, I should say, as well. But, you know, that got messy, man. Everyone turned their back on Meek Mill. And then when Meek Mill came out of jail recently, like a year ago, what was it, a year ago or less than a year ago? I can't remember. But anyways, he came out and he had beaten everything. And he had this aura when he came out that everyone wanted to be a part of. It was very beneficial to mess with Meek Mill last year, the beginning of this year, because he was the championships, right? He came out with his album, but it's like he got out, and people miss something, especially when it's gone and they can't have it, you know? So if you were to mess with Meek Mill around that time, it had a lot of attention. You saw Khaled come back around. French Montana can't because that went too far. Drake came back around, had him out on tour. Was it I get the years confused. Was it this year or last year? I see. I'm so confused now of the timing of everything. But he had him out at a show, and they made peace. So it is what it is. So they're cool again. It was beneficial for Drake to do that because Meek Mill got his power back. So people mess with things when they're hot. When people get cold, people don't mess with it. That's just how the industry is. Get cold, and you'll see who your real friends are, who will be there for you. But anyways, that's what's going on with that. I hope you guys are having a great day today. Tell me what you guys think, and then I'm going to put the points below in each interview so you don't have to search for it and draw your own conclusions. I think Drake did a chess move here, just making sure the narrative stays that, hey, this is where that beef came from. Make sure you guys still look in the mirror, believe in yourself, and realize that it takes a while to get to your goals. They don't come overnight. Life is a stairway. You got to take it one step at a time and enjoy each win at each step. And that'll keep you happy. Enjoy the journey to your final goal, okay? You're not going to get there overnight. Keep believing in yourself. Stay motivated. Stay consistent. Stay putting your best foot forward. And you have to keep trying, because if you don't try, the universe can't meet you halfway and make your dreams come true and make your goals. And, just you need those wins, Even if you don't get a win that day, enjoy the journey of waking up and trying to get to your goal. And when you when you fail at something, you're not failing. You're learning how to not do that. You're learning one way that it won't work. So you can cancel that out. It won't work doing it this way. I got to do it this way. Remember, it took Thomas Edison 1,000 times to make the light bulb, right? I think that's what it was. Edison. Yeah. So 1,000 times, 1,001 times. He said, and I learned how to not make a light bulb 1,000 times. That's how we said it. And on the 1,001st try, you got it right. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Peace.